This is Georgie Kelly from Bohemians Football Club. Make sure to subscribe to Irish Footy Vlogs for all your LOI content.
Hey guys, welcome to the FAI Cup review show. What a night we had Friday night at Richmond Park and at Dalymount Park. Brilliant atmospheres, brilliant occasions, good football, controversy, all sorts of things. Keno, we'll start off at Richmond Park for St. Patrick's Athletic. We're 3-1 winners over Dundalk, and look, this was a very good game of football. As I said, the atmosphere was a cracking atmosphere. I enjoyed it myself, as people might have seen in the matchday vlog. But look, it was a great performance by St. Patrick's Athletic. Dundalk weren't bad in the game either, to be fair. How did Pats go about winning this game, do you think?
What an occasion, first of all. Honestly, I was buzzing after. I have to say, I thought... for some reason, these big occasions, you know, when Pats need to win, similar to Bowers in ways, when Pats need to win, they 9 times out of 10 do get the win that they need. And we really rose to the occasion in this game. It was just great to see a full house. It really, really was. I thought, look, I just couldn't believe it. You know, like, and I don't understand the restrictions or how they work, but like, how can only 3,000 be allowed in last week, and then all of a sudden it's gone this week and everyone's in? It doesn't make any sense. But I have to say, unbelievable to be back. The place was buzzing. It was like a carnival atmosphere before the game. It was kind of like we knew we weren't going to lose type of attitude. And then the game started and we kind of got the shits put up us a little bit when Dundalk started really well. And they were the much better side, especially, like, I think they had a shot after 20 seconds or so, if I remember right. And you know, that was kind of nearly halfway done that beat, and I was like, Jesus Christ, right, we're in for the game out. And you know, then Pats kind of made the game boring, and I mean that in a good way. Like, we kind of just kept the ball a little bit, just, you know, shutting them out. Then I don't know what happened there. What a mistake from Alfie Lewis. I'm not going to call it a mistake. I think Alfie Lewis had some great press in there, won the ball. Billy King, probably the worst shot he's taken all season. Just caught Cherry off guard.
Was he unsighted a little bit, Cherry, do you think?
I know, Kate, come on, you're being kind now. Look, Cherry will know exactly what he meant, what he's talking about. He doesn't need me to tell him. He doesn't need anyone to tell him. That was, you know, it was a blunder. There's no question about it. It was a game of mistakes, I thought. And then, obviously, Pats ran out with a decent bit. But, you know, starting out, it was a game of mistakes. That was the first time Pats really got in properly. Terrible shot. I think everyone on the ground looked away in anger because we knew that was a chance, and we just seen a ball going into the net. And I could say it this time. So it was great down the other end of the pitch with my glasses. But I enjoyed it, I have to say. I'm not going to lie. I really enjoyed being there. I thought, then look, James, a banquet, another mistake from, like, Dundalk had a mistake, then all of a sudden Pats made a mistake and both teams punished, in fairness. I wouldn't really call it a mistake from James. Look, some people would say he should have cleared it, he should have done this, he should have done that. In fairness, he clears the ball and everyone's on his back because you give the ball straight back to them. He tried to control it, he slipped, happens the best of times, happens to everyone. Then, in fairness to Dundalk, they targeted James. And, you know, he's only going to learn from that. He's an exceptional centre-half. He targeted James, yellow card. It was a yellow card, there's no question about it. I don't know how he didn't get one up on Derry last week, but he got a yellow this week. And I think Stevie done the right thing and taking him off. The worst thing you can do is play a player when his head is nearly gone like that. So I thought he done really well, but Pat Hubin just went in and finished it.
Yeah.
Finished it nicely.
He's finishing them all day, isn't he?
Yeah, excellent. What a strike. And, you know, then all of a sudden you're up against it again. Dundalk come out on top again the second half.
Change the system, Keane, at half time. Do you think that made a difference? I know he felt like you had to take James off, and in that circumstance, obviously Hickman came on. He went to a back four. He went to the three boys went up top, basically Burns, Smith, and King. I did think their movement though in the second half, especially in the second half, because they were together, caused a lot of problems for the Dundalk defence.
Yeah, definitely. It was great. I thought it was probably Alfie's worst game for Pats. I thought He was nearly all over the place, and no, that's commendable to him. Like that's as worst he's played. We'll take it every day of the week. But I thought Jack came in. He done really, really well. Like Jack is a player that probably hasn't played since the defeat of Harps up there, and that's a long, long time ago now. It's probably Sligo. Sorry, he played in Sligo, and he hasn't played since. That's over 6 weeks ago, I think. Well, if I'm thinking off the top of my head, at least over a month. And anyway, and he's just come into a game like that at half time, coming up against the best left winger in the league, probably the best player in the league. Didn't get a sniff. He really didn't. Duffy didn't get a sniff in the game. Then, unbelievable from Dara Bones. What a pass! Like, and what I like about it, he points to where it's going. He gives that little point, and it's gone. Matty is gone.
He delays a half a second. The pass is actually gone, isn't it? That's how good a pass. That's why that pass is so good. It's just perfect. It has to be perfect, and it is perfect. Yeah, I know. I couldn't believe it when I was saying like the pass, but the finish, like I wasn't expecting the finish like that. Or the celebration. Yeah, well, the celebration. To be honest with you, I nearly ended up in the comic after the celebration. I was gone down behind the goal. I don't know where I ended up. But when Pat scored, I kind of go on a run. Then after about 2 minutes, Jesus, how did we get down here? But really, I was delighted to see Matty score. But look, you're not going to see a better strike probably all season from a Pat's side. That was unbelievable. Top ends. Everyone's being critical at Cherry. You can't be critical at Cherry for this. No keeper stopping that. I'll be honest with you, absolutely no keeper. Then, they were never going to win the game after we got that second goal. I felt like that. I felt like we had a one. And then, look, a couple of minutes to go, Dara Bones gets through. And it was written for him, wasn't it? It was his night. And, to just dink it like that and just... Like to have the cockiness to do that. Easy. Makes it look easy. I mean, if you're in that situation, I'm probably blasting that. Not trying that. I haven't felt so good about a goal since the Christie Fagan Cup final goal. I genuinely believe that. So since 2014, I haven't felt as good. When that third goal went in, it was just mayhem at Richmond, and it's up there for me. I've been to Elfsborg there. I've been to all the top league games and stuff like that there when we were clinching the title. This pisses all over that. That atmosphere was just unbelievable. By far my favourite night in Richmond Park. Probably going to be for a long time as well. But I'm buzzing with that. And, we got ourselves into the final. Look, Dundalk, they didn't do enough to win the game. They had Pats early on the game. I thought if they really had a right go, Pat were going to break. They didn't take that chance. They didn't, they started off the game unbelievable. But like I said, it's probably a bit of both. Pats came into it then, and Pats knew what was happening, and the change of system kind of caught Vinny off guard a little bit. But at the same time, they still have quality players. And by the way, it was a great game for the telly. Like, they picked the wrong game to show in the box. No. I did, Daz, I have to say, but I watched the Bowls. I watched the Bowls game back as well, and really the Pats game would have been the one to show. But that's what happens. You can't pick which game's going to be better necessarily, But I'm being honest though, RTE always get it wrong. They usually do. If RTE had 2 games every week, if they had to pick 2 games, they'd pick the wrong ones every week. Yeah, I guarantee it. Even a couple of weeks ago, Sean Patson dropped it. That was silly. You know what I mean? When there's a lot of games on, a lot of big games on that, and I'm like, why did he do that? I don't understand it. Was there a 3-3 that weekend? Actually, I can't remember who was playing, but there might have been the game where there was a lot of goals as well, and we kind of were saying they should have picked that. But even in hindsight, but anyway, Keith, the other 4 games in the Premier Division were better than that Pats game. And I don't even have to think of who was playing. Look, anyway, Pats are in the final now. I think, look, that was by far more than I expected all season. If you were to ask me, this is the start of the season, and I think second now is kind of sorted as well. Just I think you beat Dundalk on Monday, you beat Longford
you'd like to think, or even 4 points out of that, and I think we're sorted for Europe. Or sorted for second, sorry. And, you know, it's brilliant to see. I'm buzzing with it now, I have to say.
Yeah, I mean, Daz, I don't know how much of this game you've seen back. You've been a busy man over the weekend, but it's disappointing enough for Dundalk from their point of view and their supporters. Obviously, they came into a bit of form the last couple of weeks, but to get away slightly from that relegation mire. But to lose the FAI Cup semi-final, a lot of people would have actually fancied Dundalk because of their experience, etc., in these occasions. But their season now, you know, there's a lot of people now looking at Dundalk now suddenly, including myself, for next season type thing, aren't they? And saying, look, what's going to be the story with Dundalk next season now? Because you feel like their season might peter out a little bit now.
Well, firstly, Keith, you look about 10 years younger without the beard.
Thanks very
much. Yeah, look, unfortunately, I wasn't able to get to this one. I was working, couldn't get it off. So I got to watch most of the game live, which I was very thankful and happy about. So at least I got to see most of it. But in terms of Dundalk now, it's absolutely brutal for them. Like it's brutal. Like, I really would have thought, you know, obviously I'm always going to back Bohs, but I probably would have thought it was going to be like a Dundalk Bohs final maybe. Like, you would like to think that their experience of having been there and done it, having players that are winners, having players that's played in massive games and massive finals very recently, you would have thought their experience would have gotten them over the line, especially the fact that, you know, they've come into a bit of good form in the last 6 weeks, 2 months, would have been winning games and winning games well. Like, you know, like to play against Bohs, a few other teams that I've seen, and they were very good. Like Jack Rovers, like, you know, they were at the level that you think they should be at, especially at the start of the season when we kind of all tipped them to be really, you know, good and competitive and, you know, in around the league winners, which couldn't be further from where they are at the minute. And it's just going to be interesting to see what they're going to do, how they're going to approach it. Obviously, they've got players in 2-year deals, players in massive contracts, lots of money being thrown around, and now no European football is shown for them. Like, it's bad. Like,
yeah, it's disappointing. In case people are wondering, guys, Keano is off to Drogheda and Derry, and he's to get a bus, so he has to get it now pretty much. So we've got Keano on the move, guys, to Drogheda. I'll be there later, by the way, as well, but luckily I'll be driving, so I can afford to leave a little later. But Keano, we'll move on to Bohemians, and obviously Waterford finished Bohs 1, Waterford 0. I obviously watched this back, I'm sure you did as well, and this game's a little bit different, a bit more on the scrappy side of things, I think. You know, there was a bit of controversy in the game. You had obviously the goal laid on from Kelly, potentially offside. I can't say for sure, but potentially offside. You had a penalty given that was missed, actually, by Bohemians from Georgie Kelly. But you had lines tripped after 2 minutes, which looked like a penalty. Ferguson and Keefe got sent off, and Mark Bertram wasn't a happy bunny. I think I got it all in there.
Yeah, no, it was decent.
Yeah,
it was decent, I have to say. Yeah, it was an okay game. I think Bohs won't care about the result. Bohs won't care about how they played or how the game went. They got themselves into it. But, you know, starting off, I thought it was a penalty 2 minutes in, I've no doubt.
100%.
It was clumsy. 100% a penalty. Then the Lions won a little bit on. That was a penalty as well. I thought the Andy Lions.
Yeah.
I thought that was I don't know. I couldn't get over it. I was watching it. I was like, how was that not given? I know I watched it back on Saturday after a decent night, Friday night. But I look back, I was so disappointed in Bohs in the way they didn't really take the game to Waterford.
Nerves?
Especially when they went down to 10 men. I think the place was nervous. I did have that nervous element about it. Didn't dance in the ground.
Yeah, the ground, like, but obviously, like, you know, it was a nervy affair throughout the match. When we missed that penalty, I was kind of thinking, oh no, Waterford are going to get, you know, momentum from this. They might go on and score at the other end. Like, it was getting nervy then. Like,
yeah, Bertram Keano wasn't happy with that penalty being awarded, which I don't understand personally, because but letter law, that's a penalty. Murphy comes out and he does foul. He does take Kelly out of it, in my opinion. Yeah. And, you know, you could look back at the other penalty on Lines and say that was a penalty anyway. So I don't know. What do you think? Yeah,
I'm going to say a penalty. I thought myself now it was a penalty. I I didn't see. I didn't see him not giving it. I have to be honest. I thought Harvey did have a poor game. For both sides, really, but more so for Waterford.
Didn't he have a poor game more so in the normal elements of the game rather than generally?
That's it, exactly.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Rather than some of the things maybe Mark complained about, yeah.
Yeah, I did. Now, I have to say, look, I think you're always going to get that type of fixed mentality about it. I think this is probably the first time in about 15 years, 20 years or whatever that the FAI got the cup final that everyone wanted, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, I know playing Waterford and Dundalk don't want that, and they obviously didn't want, but I mean, everyone in the league that's out of the cup or whatever wanted to see a Pats or Bows or a Pats or Rovers or a Rovers and Bows final, you know, and that's what the whole league wants, and that's so I think you are going to get a bit of an element to that.
Do you think that's annoyed Mark a little bit, like?
Yeah, look, obviously you're annoyed. They're after losing the cup semi-final. He's a passionate man. He's a really passionate man, so that's going to happen. But I don't know. I feel like Waterford could have just clung on there and brought it back and played Monday night. The goal was offside. I'll be honest. That's probably what I like me saying that.
I don't think Daz will care, to be honest with you.
No, definitely not. It was definitely offside. You don't like to win a game. Sorry, you don't like to lose a game with a goal like that. They will feel hard done by. You can see in this frustration now. And rightly so. It would be the exact same as Mark.
Well, you see, Keano, there's two blatant penalties not really given to balls, and then we get a goal like that. So it has to work both ways too. If people are going to talk about slim chances like that, so
look, it does. To be honest, it evens itself out over the course of the season.
Yeah, absolutely.
You had a couple of conscious penalty decisions, you'd say, and we've had our fair share. Every team in the country kind of has their fair share. I just think there's this stigma around the Dublin clubs getting everything type of thing, which I don't think is correct or anything like it. But I'm really, I have to say though, it was great to see Bows win it. Like I said in the preview, that the nearly men all the time. They're always that team that nearly gets to the final or nearly gets their hands on the league or something like that. They're always them nearly men. And, I think that was a massive obstacle for them. Look, whatever happens in the cup final happens. But to get there is one thing. And, I think both teams have really stepped their game up now to get themselves there. And I think that was a big statement from both sides in the cup, to get themselves there and, give themselves a chance of winning it now. And I wouldn't like to call who's going to win that cup. Obviously, I'm biased, but, I don't think many people in the League of Ireland is going to be putting their money on either side. They might stick a fiver on both. But, it's one of them games now. It's 4 weeks away, something like that. Hang on, there's kind of dog. Some dog is attacking me here. Look.
That's not the dog that was barking outside a few weeks ago.
Stop. Do you remember that, yo?
Yeah.
No, I'll be honest. I have to say, I think it's going to be a great final. I think we're going to hit 40,000 at it. I think it's going to be the biggest cup final in years. And look, bring it on.
I suppose, Keano, from Waterford's point of view, like, I don't know about you, but in the first half especially, I was a bit disappointed with them because in the last few weeks, they've scored a lot of goals. They've played a bit free-flowing football. Now, I know you want to dig in, you want to keep it tight, but I think they feel like they missed a beat a little bit by not getting Patterson and Junior into the game, and there seems to be a bit of a gap between them and the midfield. Now, I know Bows were like dogs and they pressed them hard, but at the same time, they feel like they missed a little bit of a trick there.
I don't know, because, Bows scored really late on in the game. Like, obviously, we probably wouldn't be talking now, but if that game went to a draw, we'd be saying, Jesus, that was great from Waterford, especially with 10 men. Now they're going to get themselves at home now next week, and they're going to try and give it a right go.
Yeah.
So, I wouldn't be too hard on Waterford there, because I thought that game plan was spot on. The amount of frustration around Dalymount. I know they wrote that look a little bit with the, with the penalty and stuff like that being saved. But I think there was a lot of frustration around the ground, and you could feel it, you could sense the nerves. I won't say really frustration, but it was like, are we going to score here? They had that mentality, Bowes fans, and rightly so, because you're down to 10 men, all the pressure was on Bowes. But I don't think Waterford missed them. I think Waterford got a spot on. In terms of what they do, and I don't think Bowes really had many clear-cut chances.
No, we didn't. Throughout the game, we weren't really making any chances at all, really. It was very dogged, and when we were getting forward, we weren't really doing much with it. We're in the box, but there's no end product. There was no crosses going in. Then we'll lose the possession, and then we're getting back, and then we're winning it. Then we're going forward, and it's the same kind of process going over and over. And Tierney was going down. He shouldn't be getting more frees. He wasn't getting them. The wingers were kind of playing inverted, and they're trying to get into the wings, but it just wasn't happening. And Kelly wasn't getting much service, and Andy Lyons was up and down that wing, but again, there's nothing really doing. So it was cagey. There wasn't many chances in the game at all, really, either side.
Yeah, there wasn't many chances where you say that Bowes actually missed, wasn't there? Not oh my God, we should have scored there or whatever. To be fair, what? Bar the penalty, obviously, bar the penalty. But in open play and aside from that,
open play, no,
there was nothing there.
There was no real shots. There was no real clear-cut chances. There was no real one-on-ones. There was nothing like that at all. It really could have went either way that night. And we got very fortunate and lucky getting that goal towards the end. Kelly had moved as soon as Promise crossed that, so he would have been, it looked blatantly offside. I think the ref's flag should have went up straight, or the linesman flag should have went up as soon as Kelly made that run. The theory kind of went off before the ball kind of went in. Good ball by Promise, it was with the weight and the accuracy that he had for Kelly, and look, we got away with one there. But as I said, throughout that game, there could have been other things given to us, just wasn't given. Like Keno says, even has said how over the season, and I'm not going to complain how we got to the final whatsoever. It's fucking brilliant. We got to the final. I can't believe that we're going to a final. It's going to be my first Bulls final ever. But yeah, I'm so excited. I can't believe that we're here and that we've done it. It's going to be brilliant. And all Dublin in the fair. Pats and Bows, teams that a lot of people outside League Farm would also know and like. And there's a lot of players on both teams that fans for different teams would really like to see in a final and all. And this is going to be Keith Long's first final at Bows, and hopefully he finally delivers. But even if he doesn't, and Pat stay in the top three, we have European football again, and he still met his target for probably what he would have said.
Which I have to say, I think Bows are in a brilliant position now, where they know fourth spot has Europe, and I think that's going to give them a bit of confidence, because I said it a few weeks ago. I don't think they were going to make the top three. I don't think they'll finish third. And I said fourth isn't going to guarantee them Europe, but now it does. They're after getting themselves into the cup final. It's so important for Bowes to get to the cup final. Like I said, for Pats, I think it's more important for Bowes to win it now than Pats. And that's not me playing mind games or anything like it. I think Stevie O'Donnell is only starting out in his career now with Pats. And what he's done, I think, he's probably exceeded anyone's expectations.
I think if Pats lose the cup final and Pats finish second, it's seen as a successful season for Stevie O'Donnell, as funny as that sounds. And if Bows lose the cup final and say don't get into Europe, it's seen as a disappointing season, you see.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be. I'm looking forward to seeing the amount of fans there. I'm looking forward to seeing the occasion. I think Bows have a bit of work to do though. If they want to get themselves fourth, I think Pat are in a nice position now, where, like I said, probably 2 wins. Obviously, you'd like to go into the full final and go back to 3 or 4 wins. I don't think it's going to happen though. But I don't think both sides. I don't think it's going to happen for both sides. I think it's going to be a mixed bag all the way up. But these few weeks now, Pats aren't going to take the eye off the ball as such in the league. We kind of have one eye in that cup final. We know it's there, type of thing. Bows need to get themselves finishing fourth. Like you've seen the scenes in the summer there when Bows got to Europe. They need that again. They want that again. So finishing fourth is very doable. But there's some big games coming up. Like I think, especially the game against Pats coming up now in a couple of weeks. So
that might be a bit cagey, that one.
Look, like I said, I don't think it's going to be cagey, that game.
No.
Because every team knows how everyone plays, and anyway, you know, the guy could come out now. I know going up here now what way they're going to drop the play.
Yeah.
And, you know, every team knows each other. It's such a small league. You play each other so many times. Like, Keith Long or Stephen O'Donnell isn't going to come up with some master plan that we've never worked on before out in the game, you know? They're not. It's not going to happen. We're going to play ourselves. We're just going to try and outbeat them with whatever. Like, I think Bowles' strength is in the middle. And funnily enough, I think Pat's strength is in the middle. So, you know, I just think
they both have players that can hurt you on the sides as well. They're similar in a way.
They're similar in a way, but I think Pat's outlet, obviously the likes of Darragh Bowen, Billy King and stuff like that. Then you have Cute, you have Booth. So, you know, it's all the makings of a good final. I just hope everyone stays fit for both sides, and both sides go into it with the best starting 11. Because there'll be nothing worse than losing an out player or two out of our starting 11. Like, obviously, Pat's had Melton gone and stuff like that. He's gone. He won't be back.
Yeah.
But, you know, which is a shame because, like, he's probably been the best right full this season in terms of, you know, league-wise. So, I'm thinking of James Brown now. It's just had a popping into my head. Who probably got that.
Ronan Boyce.
Yeah.
But anyway.
You know what? I do. I think it's going to be a really good game. Like I said, there's still a lot of work to do. There's still a lot of games to be played before all this. I just hope, like I said, everyone stays fit. Both teams go into it in the best form possible. And let's give it a right crack. I think it's going to be an anti-climax final. I don't think it's going to live up to the expectations of, let's say, everyone. I don't think me or Dad will really give it shit whether it does or not. Like I said, probably every cup final has been fantastic, but the worst cup final was probably the Pats and Derry one when Pats won it in 2014.
Yeah, probably.
That was probably the worst cup final, and I absolutely couldn't give a shit. We won it, and it was the best night of my life, and that's the way it is. That's the way the cups are. It doesn't really matter how you're playing them once you get over the line, like the semi-finals at this rate. So, you know, I'm really looking forward to it. Like I said, I do think it's going to be a bit of an anti-climax. I can't see it being a bleeding 3-all or 4-3 type of game. Now, in saying that, Bowles like to keep it open in games recently as well. But I can't see it being an open game here.
Yeah, look, brilliant, guys. I'll leave it there. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Thanks for watching, lads. Subscribe to the channel. Hit your bell notification button. Let us know what you think in the comments as well. Are you excited for this final? How disappointed? Excuse me. Are you, if you're Waterford or Dundalk? Thanks for watching again. Olé, 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 olé.